awful, really. I mean, to be honest, though, those guys are all having commitments to an actual team. So scrimming for them and preparing for this event was actually quite hard. And they didn't get in as much prep time as some other teams actually did.
Yeah, it's very true. And there you see the roster there. But, I mean, this is a squad that has so much just talent across the board that I'm not too concerned about them not feeling like they didn't get enough practice. And furthermore, they I believe they scrimmed South Korea quite a bit.
Yeah, they
here.
said that the second time went a lot better.
Yes, yeah, which, I mean, you know, that's as far
They
as we'll
still
go
lost,
on that.
but they said it went
did
better.
it have a point?
So
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't ask him.
Sure. He said, okay, so what he said basically, when they scrimmed against South Korea, first they did encounter Junkrat and everything, so they were like, oh my god, serious troll pigs. However, the second day when they scrimmed against South Korea here in Poland, they said that they managed to force South Korea onto meta picks, and that's already a big achievement for them.
I mean, that really is, but I mean, taking a look at this Turkish squad, once again, I just love their passion, especially bringing in local esports and really growing out their community. You know, one of the troubling things is they were telling us how right before this event, they actually had to replace 2 players, so they're already playing at a disadvantage up against this really star-studded roster, like you had mentioned, Zoe.
Yeah, missing out on they call it the Turkish version of Shadowburn.
Yeah.
And that's quite the title, if I must say so myself. John Cena, and it's not a wrestler. That'd be
We
quite
had to
a
fit
sight.
one in there.
I want to see John Cena play Genji.
Well, we're definitely not going to see him, so...
Oh, no! You were...
Ouch.
I had to do it!
You were the
I
worst.
had to go for it.
Do you know
I
about John
cracked.
Cena? Are you familiar?
Yes,
with
thank
the
you.
Kansas
Jesus
City?
Christ.
I'm just letting you know, Zoe, because sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they have in Switzerland. You know,
Switzerland,
Switzerland
well,
or Paris.
Money.
Money.
That's all we got, sir. Representing you.
It's just, you're crushing it right now. Oh, man. All right, well, the players are getting ready to go here. I mean, we kind of highlighted, you know, both squads and how they're going to, you know, like what their strengths, what their weaknesses, you know, could potentially be coming into this one. Coming off of that South Korea matchup and Reinforce, this is going to be a question for you.
Oof, I'm ready.
You know,
Bring it on.
Do they learn some stuff from there, or do they learn some things, or, you know?
Stage experience. I mean,
Yeah.
stage experience is very rare now in Overwatch, the Overwatch scene currently. So, I mean, that's something I value and rate really highly. So, yeah, stage experience, something that actually Turkey has. I mean, Hex played Team Fortress 2 previously. Attended a few Insomnia LANs back in England. So,
Yeah.
he has this stage experience, which Canada doesn't have. Maybe a pro going in the favor of Turkey.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I think, you know, they have an opportunity to really shock everyone. And we have seen teams be very overconfident coming into these group stages and then ultimately get brought down a couple notches because of that overconfidence here. Do you think Canada, you know, could fall into that trap potentially?
I hope not, honestly. And I don't think that the types of player are, I don't want to say arrogant enough, but I do think they don't really underestimate other teams. And looking at Turkey, if you're looking at the individual players, they all played together prior to this tournament. A lot of them have been in the same teams within Turkey. I think 5 of them have been playing in the same team, so they are familiar with each other. That does count for something. That's definitely something to not underestimate.
Yeah, right. You just have to be very cautious because of what we've seen in previous stops already here. And Turkey, I mean, hey, who knows, right? This could be their standout moment. We heard Japan tell us, oh, no, we're not that great, and yet they were contending for BlizzCon.
Yeah, and we saw earlier today, actually, in Netherlands versus Poland. Poland coming out real strong. It looked like, you know, there were a few points where they might have full-held Netherlands. So you do have to give everyone respect. There's no reason why you should be underestimating anyone, especially after our last 2 stops. You just cannot do that. So, you know, Canada has to come with full respect up against Turkey. And, like, Turkey, you just, as the underdog, you know, you have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. That's where you just throw everything on the wall and hope something sticks. So we might see some wonky compositions coming out for them that you never know with these underdogs.
Yeah, especially in a game such as Overwatch is so volatile in terms of how you put together a team. So, I mean, we know that some of these players are really sick. Like Nykto has a really good Zenyatta, and then you have Yaga on the projectile role, which is most known for Genji, and then Hex on the Tracer. So, I mean, they can just throw these players together in a team. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they just come out on top. Maybe they do an Argentina or a Japan. We'll have to see.
Yeah, anything is possible here, you know, at the Overwatch World Cup. Really looking forward to seeing how they perform. A thing that does concern me about Turkey, though, is that they, you know, their communication could end up being an issue here if they're not careful. And I think for Canada, they're going to focus on that big time. They're going to make sure that their shot calling is on point. Yeah,
they really have to. And I think when we talked to Turkey prior to today, they did say that they're still trying out different shot callers within the team. Yeah. And a day before the tournament starts, I don't think that's really the time to try out some various different shot callers. But who knows? Maybe they found the right one now and are ready to rumble against Canada there. Why is Surefour always looking so dreamy? I just
it's the eyes.
What is it? The eyes?
Yes.
It's you know, I really don't know. It's just the it's just all the thing. I mean, look at the small
and he's
claps
like
there.
a clap. Wow.
You know, I don't know.
He's feeling it. He's just feeling it.
He's showing appreciation for the team. That's great.
All right, guys. Like well, now let's go ahead and get into the action. It's going to be Canada versus Turkey, and who better to take you through this game than Monte Cristo and Doa?
That's right. Who better, Golden Boy, indeed. Doa and Monte Cristo here to guide you. Be your sort of shamans, if you will, through this journey.
Through this vision quest of Overwatch, right?
We will learn more. We'll become enlightened through Canada versus Turkey. And
as
Turkey,
both teams find their spirit animal, right?
Yeah, that's right. What's your spirit animal?
I don't know, man, but Canada's is probably a beaver, right?
You don't know what your spirit animal is?
No, I haven't done that kind of vision quest, but maybe I'll learn by the end of this match.
All right. Well, mine is a turtle.
I was going to guess
into a ninja turtle.
Marmot.
Marmot? Maybe. Could be. Trapdoor spider.
That'd be a pretty cool. That'd be a pretty cool spirit animal.
It would be neat. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. We're starting out on Hollywood, guys. Turkey, obviously, I think you could say coming into this one as a bit of an underdog. Canada, they have a pretty stacked roster actually for this tournament.
Yeah, they do, and all professional players as well. So when you look at Turkey, Hex really the only full-time player on this roster right now, so certainly will be difficult. Hollywood is going to be selected by Canada as the first map, and it looks like we are going to see defense from Canada first. Rolf on the Ana.
Yep.
And playing a pretty straight-up dive composition here. Turkey at least maybe looking for a potential initial pickoff.
I would say so.
Hex, nope, going to switch off the Widowmaker immediately. So will be looking like some pretty standard dive from both teams. Of course, the exception of the Ana instead of the Zenyatta, but we do see Ana very frequently here because of how easy it is to defend the top of Cafe.
I'm still recovering from Austria, Korea, man. I don't know what's meta anymore. What's real, what's not real. My universe is turned upside down. Turkey, though, diving in, trying to get something going on, but they lose their Winston early. Canada set up for a pretty easy defense this time around, it looks like.
Yeah, Surefour actually cleaning up the supports after the dive went in. So Zenyatta cut off from the rest of the Turkish roster. Stagger coming through now onto the D.Va, not even going to finally get the kill at the end there. That'll delay some time as Alfred has to go back into the respawn.
Yep. But, you know, some of these early pushes can be a bit economy-centric here for the attacking team. Turkey building up some ultimates. Canada a little bit in the lead in that category, though. Yaga just biding his time.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to take the high ground this time. So trying to take a different approach, very up their attack. Whoa. And they're going to go right back into the bottom of the Cafe this time.
That was a good biotic grenade from Canada.
Was very good.
Yeah, pushed Turkey back a little bit. It was unsafe to do the dive without any potential healing for a bit. But Yaga does get behind the team. Rolf may be in a bit of trouble. Now gets pushed out again. XQC does get the kill on the Nikto. And slowly but surely, Turkey maybe a bit pushed back here. Alfred popped out of the D.Va mech, and the loss of that defensive matrix is a big deal for Turkey, and that's going to lead to Canada with the cleanup, despite Hex staying alive for quite a while.
And XQC actually getting the kill onto Hex at the end, stalling out with his Winston leap way up in the air. And that means that Canada has a chance to reset right now. Just the pulse bomb used by Surefour. Canada looking at 5 ultimates to Turkey's 1 right now, though Sretler and Yaga will be coming up on theirs shortly. This should be a pretty explosive attack here.
Yeah, I think so. This is their moment. Like, this is what they've kind of been waiting for. How is the setup going to work, though? A lot of poking. Canada playing very defensive inside the Cafe. Yaga in position. But they know he's there. We'll see. Going to start to try to get a bit of control meter building. That's going to draw Canada out again. Here we go. Dragon Blade comes
hit
in.
by the Bionic Grenade
man.
again. Rolf lends a clutch ability to shut down the Dragon Blade immediately.
Rolf was so ready for that both times. Edwin comes in, Primal Rage done now, and he has not much support inside the cafe. Canada pulling out way ahead in this fight, and that's going to be another win. Agility's with the cleanup.
Nice reflect on the headshot.
Yep.
Onto Nikto there, so easy cleanup for Team Canada. They use 3 ults, and they have the rest in store right now, especially that Nano Blade. And they're going to try and cut through this Transcendence if they can find any stragglers around the edges.
Turkey doesn't really have a great couple ultimates to use for this attack, too. I mean, self-destruct plus Transcendence, not a lot of synergy you can really make happen with that.
But
they use the self-destruct early on. Rolf does go down. Agility's coming out. Now he's got the Dragon Blade. Open season to maybe get something done.
Back,
no.
though.
Yeah, Transcendence up as well. Joe Meister falls. Turkey may have the successful attack they're looking for here, and as Agilities goes down, I think it's definitely looking like this payload might get rolling.
Alfred got the key pick to start that fight. Rolf was killed before he had an opportunity to use the nano boost onto Agilities. Agilities attempted to try and get a dash reset, but was booped away.
Yeah.
And so couldn't really participate in that fight at all. Lackluster Dragon Blade from Agilities as a result, and Canada is not going to get the full hold. Turkey with 3 minutes to push it through point B.
Yeah, they bought a bit of time, but it certainly could have been better on the defense for Canada. Turkey with the payload moving now. And Canada is trying to grab that high ground maybe. Are they getting up there? Hard to see. No, they're taking the low ground for now. Rolf kind of on his own. Has a little bit of peel there, but not enough. Wow, I can't believe he actually survived. Surefour and XQC coming in to protect their supports at the last moment. And Turkey may be stalled out a little bit here, or at least won't be able to push the payload as far as they wanted to early on.
Turkey is really not playing around the Bionic Grenade very well. They keep getting into situations where Rolf is able just to throw it at his feet, and they get the healing buff and debuff simultaneously across both teams. So not really the best play so far. They need to keep a better idea of the cooldown on that ability and make sure that the value really isn't there for Team Canada.
Well, Rolf, you know, he kind of came up in last year's World Cup, playing a great Ana right now, though. Sound barrier for Turkey as they try to get the payload moving. Surefour with an early kill on Nikto, though. Found him in the back line. And Yaga, that's a Primal Rage out of XQC. XQC going very deep, but it pays off. Yaga does go down. But yeah, just going back to Rolf, it's been cool to see his career kind of evolve over the last year now.
Rolf actually switches over to the Zenyatta. Of course, we're praising his Ana play, but
yeah,
looking now to get the Orb of Discord down and focus some of these targets. Yaga's not going to have the protection of the sound barrier on this next push, although Nikto may be able to get a Transcendence up in time. Surefour sneaking around the side, trying to pick off that Discord target. Moving again.
Nothing with that pulse bomb on the Turkey side. Surefour has his to work with. Fighting the Tracer duel right now, has to back away, uses recall earlier. Oh, gets taken down though by Yaga. There's a Transcendence for Turkey. Really trying to push this payload forward, and so far so good. Canada has to kind of regroup. They don't want to fight that fight, a man down.
Yeah, that's still actually a pretty big win for Canada in terms of ults that were taken away from the Turkish side. Trance and Dragon Blade down, and this is going to be where Canada wants to hold.
Yeah, Agility's getting close to that Dragon Blade. Getting in the back line now. Without the Diva, there's just not a whole lot that Turkey can do to stop him. You know, or maybe just that. Maybe they just kill him, I guess. Never mind. Caster curse him there a little bit. Sorry about that.
Turkey actually still dealing some damage right now. They're trying to get back. Surefour still on the card. It is a support duel. That'll be Rolf winning.
A little bit of supportal combat. Rolf gets the fatality. Ooh, double kill actually for that Zenyatta. And now with just 15 seconds left, Turkey is scrambling here.
This is the hold that they wanted the entire time. Surefour looking for the pickoff with a pulse bomb right now. Is going to find Hex on the side.
That's big.
In combination with XQC. Everybody trying to get onto the cart right now from Turkey.
Vulnerable Zenyatta doesn't get stuck, gets killed anyway. Surefour with the crucial kill on the Nikto. That's one support down. Here comes the sound barrier for Canada as they try to finish off this defense, and it looks like they will do it in style.
That's one of those opportunities, Doa, that if you are Canada, you are happy with giving up a little room on the payload because it makes your defense so ironclad at the end of the cart. You get the support ultimate out, you get the Dragon Blade out, and then you know where you can invest in defense. So smart play, good shot calling from Canada there.
Well, just good play all around. To me, though, you know, no support bias here, but Rolf really stood out. Great Ana play. Those Bionic grenades were perfect. And then on the Zenyatta, just really hitting the shots he needed to do. And really encouraging to see for Canada.
Certainly, Rolf has long been one of the better Western supports, and you see him coming through with his teammate Surefour here.
He's also got
an
awesome real name, Randall Stark.
It is a fantastic real name.
I suppose because he's from Canada, he really could be king in the north.
They support king in the north at the very least.
That's right. Well, supports our king.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they the kings of Overwatch?
Absolutely. We decide who lives and who dies, Monte Cristo.
That is an excellent argument for them being the kings of Overwatch.
I don't think there's much dispute you can really bring against that, against the claim we have to the throne.
And all the DPS are merely your puppets.
That's right. Absolutely. We're like, go forth, my minions, and if you perform well, I shall heal you.
That's more what you say to tanks, isn't it, though?
That too. Both. DPS and tanks. I'll bestow my golden orb upon you.
I hope you
May you please me as it floats above you.
I hope you talk to your teammates like that in voice comms, though.
I do. I do. Prepare, my minions, for soon we venture forth. Oh, yes.
Too good.
Too easy. No, we already saw him today.
Yeah, I think he's
match.
He's done for today. Already picked up his 4 map wins.
Yeah, looking good on Netherlands.
3 divas, of course, on the side of... Yeah, I thought there was a 1 hero limit right now, but...
And a couple of them are wearing diva makeup, too. I'll be here for 3 days. That's right. I'm just waiting for XQC to like pick out his cell phone and go start streaming the audience.
Yeah, he is.
In the middle of the game. It's my job, guys. I got to do this. Here we go. Canada on the offense now. Turkey going to try to hold them, but it's going to be tough. I mean, Canada doesn't need to push it that far. You do see those point A holds from time to time, and Turkey certainly not giving up easily on attack.
Surefour has skating around the side of the limousine. They're trying to bottle everybody up. Canada mostly just poking right now, and that's Yaga going down. He was the only one on the top of the cafe.
It's a good start. Surefour looking for a victim. Has to recall to get a bit of health back, but meanwhile his team just kind of tearing apart Turkey. XQC does go down, but the advantage certainly on the side of Canada right now.
Yeah, and the point ticking up right now. Everybody from Turkey just in the bottom side of the cafe. They can't find those angles, and finally Agilities will cut Surrendler down.
Wow.
On the top side of the point, Hex is going to have to get onto the cart right now just to stop this point from capping, and it's going to be a little too late.
Yeah, and if they can get these picks on the members of Turkey that are pretty far forward, that could be some extra pushing power.
And that's a long time now. Over 5 minutes to push it, not even really towards the end of point B.
You may want to back off a little bit here.
No. He's got to go for the bomb kill, you know?
Well, I mean, don't come out the bottom door is what I'm saying. Got to be a little bit cautious.
All right, looking for that pick right now.
Crazy chandelier there.
Trying to wait for his teammate. Sees Nikto on the side, but he is seen in return. Does take a small amount of chip damage, so he's not going to have that angle, but he does at least zone them out right now. They're aware of the threat that he's presenting, and here we go. Agilities has that Dragon Blade.
Edwin going in way too early and paying for it. Agilities in the back line now with the Dragon Blade. Transcendence comes out, but there's already been 2 kills on the side of Canada. Make that 3. Make it more even. And nice reflect from Agilities. Putting the icing on the cake, and that payload is moving nearly to the end already. This may actually end up being a pretty quick map.
Nobody's on the cart right now. Finally getting back on. It was a bit spotty there as Rolf not quite there yet. So
got so excited.
Yeah, they're going to get the push going right now. Will be one more opportunity at least for Turkey to defend, but they have to win every fight from here on out.
That's right, desperation for Turkey. They do have some ults to work with. They're going to start with the sound barrier. There's a Dragon Blade as well. Hex does go down. That's not what Turkey wants. They do get a return kill here. But meanwhile, the payload still more or less occupied by, Turkey.
Yeah, they are. They had the big ult advantage, and they knew they needed to commit it. Primal Rage, sound barrier, and the Dragon Blade all going down for Turkey. But that's, again, a pretty big win for Canada because they're going to be able to develop their ult economy, and they've got over 3.5 minutes to do it.
Well, they've just got time. That's the thing, is that they can lose this fight. Not a big deal. Get some ults back. Agilities kind of playing with danger a little bit here, but Edwin again. I've seen this a couple times now. Edwin going up a little bit too far on that Winston and paying for it. That's going to open the door for Canada to possibly end this one right here.
I mean, Agilities is just cutting them down one by one right now. Desperation time on the card. Sound barrier did its work, and that's going to be it. So Canada will go ahead and take Hollywood with relative ease.
XQC
booping himself.
Yeah, with his nose there, I guess. Yeah. Don't know what scent plays, what role scent plays in Overwatch really at this point, but hey, the nose knows. So, Canada, with a pretty convincing win here in game number 1, Turkey. I mean, they had decent defenses from time to time. They had decent fights. Certainly we do see some individual talent on this team too, but what stood out to me on that map was just the coordination. Edwin, a lot of times, especially on that defensive round, was just going in too early.
Yeah.
And, part of that maybe was a little bit of, on his part, but you do have to credit Agilities a lot, I think, to drawing him back. Agilities was great at baiting out the Winston dive.
Yeah, and you do see some differences in terms of the player style. Agilities, obviously played well for the most part. Oh, God, it's going to get dizzy now. But he has playing a different style. They talked about this a little bit at the desk, but the way that he plays on Immortals with Fate, who has transitioned into being the primary shot caller of that Immortals roster, you see him going in with his Winston a lot, and basically simultaneously with the Dragon Blade, and Fate is used to using that initiation with the Genji, and XQC and Agilities not really with that same level of synergy yet, so Agilities has had to adjust his style, playing a little bit further back with the Dragon Blade, and at times he did struggle a little bit with that ability, particularly when Turkey was able to capture that first point on Hollywood.
Yeah. The Diva tattoos on the face seem to scream, is this easy mode?
Is that what they're signifying right now?
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought they were just trying to channel some of the power of South Korea from the last match.
That's probably a good idea, man. I didn't see any Junkrat getting played, though. No Hanzo McCree comps either, unfortunately.
That was something to watch, though. That was something else.
South Korea's like, your ladder that you're so fond of? Well, we're here to ruin it. Get ready for the McCree Junkrat Hanzo meta. I mean, it kind of already exists, depending on the elo that you're in.
That's right.
My elo is kind of there already, yeah. But we're going to Lijiang Tower for our control map here. Let's see if Canada can get the 2-0 lead or if Turkey can tie things up.
Yeah, interesting that we're going to see Lijiang. Now, this might be a better opportunity for the Turkish squad to make some waves. A lot of the time when it gets to control, which tends to be a little bit more brawly, mechanical based, that's when teams that maybe don't have the same level of coordination can hang better with teams that are generally superior on the other map types.
True enough. And we may actually see the pharmacy coming out for Turkey. Hex on the Mercy, Alfred on the Pharah. No, swapping it up though. Oh well.
It was so close though.
It was so close.
It's back to dive though. We had one map of lots of Reinhardt. I can't remember the last time I saw so much Reinhardt versus Reinhardt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Guess
Austria
what's good
against
South
Reinhardt? Junkrat, man. Junkrat. All right, well, here we go. Fight on the point already on Night Market. XQC biding his time. Turkey a little bit on the outside here. You got to be careful if you're that Winston. Yeah, it gets pretty low. Ooh, doesn't matter. He's going over the top.
Let's find the big health back, though, that he was looking for by hopping over the wall. Instead, he's going to have to go back in at lower HP.
Yeah, puts the shield right down. Yaga nearly gets taken out, has to back away. Good start. There's the big health pack on the other side for XQC. And Canada's going to be able to grab the point first.
And Yaga comes back in. I think he probably should just fallen back right there. Wanted to delay it as much as he can, but on Genji, you just don't have the HP to last that much longer. And now, actually, you've staggered for the rest of your team pretty badly. He died very late on, so I think a bit of a missed shot call there from Turkey.
Yeah. All right. Turkey trying to reclaim the point. Good start. XQC dies. Without that Winston, it's going to be tough for Canada to hold it. There's a Dragon Blade coming out as well. Used on the side for Yaga.
Yaga did get enough damage down to have a very fast blade up, but Nikto also picked up 2 on that one, so Nikto making a difference, but it's just not quite enough. Agilities resting on a Dragon Blade of his own right now.
Well, I mean, they did flip it, so they are getting some control percent building up here. Agilities, though. All right. Oh, all right. He's a ninja. Don't worry, guys. He's a ninja. He can survive this. Okay, he can't. Maybe can't survive this. Oh, so close. I was going to be impressed right there.
Yeah, Rolf gets Nikto in the end, but looking at this, that was another opportunity. Both Genji players, Yaga and Agilities, dying very late and giving up quite a bit of control percentage to their opponents. This time, so again, we see Surefire coming around. Hex actually gets it onto Joe Meister. Joe Meister didn't actually... Oh, okay, we saw the sound barrier come through from Suretler. That was the sound cue.
Yep. Couple kills already for the side of Team Canada. They did lose Joe Meister early, like you said, but he's still got that sound barrier to bring in later, and the rest of his team. Oh, nice! Alfred taken out before he gets back in the mech. That's a team kill. And that is a point flip in favor of Canada.
Nice coordination and communication from Canada. Surefour was waiting for Nikto to respawn after Rolf killed him initially. So as he was coming back, trying to rejoin his team and have an effect in that fight, quickly denied. Agility's still going to be sitting here with the Dragon Blade. They retained their sound barrier as well.
Yep. Here we go, Turkey with the big attack. Agility's outweighting that Transcendence. Gets the kill on the Nikto when it ends. Goes back in again. Tries to find Yago, who's pretty low health right now. Down to about half. Forced out either way. And Agility's like, this health pack's mine, man. And all the kills are mine, too.
And this death is also mine eventually.
Agility's, please. No, you're not living up to your name right there.
Well, they did D-back Alfred, so it is going to be a delayed attack, and because he went so far and stopped them more towards their spawn, he should be able to get back in time. Alfred actually just had to go back to spawn, I think, to remech. So...
All right, here we go again. Ooh, Edwin going very aggressive here. Man, that's deep. He's got the Primal Rage. He's going to use it to try to disrupt Canada, create room for his team to come in. Mangachu in the side here. He's got the self-destruct if he needs to use it. If he needs to buy a bit more time for Canada here. Yaga gets one with the Dragon Blade. Self-destruct comes in. Canada getting a few more. XQC going wild with the Primal Rage. Pun intended. And Canada should be able to win this round right here.
Yeah, team kill at the end, and Surefour.
He lived.
Puts a party bomb.
The boy who lived.
On the ground.
Yeah. Have a ball. All right, Canada with the first round win here on Lijiang Tower. It is a best of 3 for this control map, so we'll see if they can take the 2-0 or if Turkey will come back. And, you know, again, I feel like Turkey is so close to having a lot better fights, right? It seems like there's a lot of members of the team that are like almost there, you know what I mean?
Well, Nikto, at least for Turkey, has been opening up some of these fights with necessary picks onto Surefour, onto Rolf in that last round, which allowed them to actually swap control over that point.
I think Yaga's been playing well too, and I think with a little bit better coordination from Edwin's leaps, from the dives, they could be winning a lot more.
Yeah, and there's also that agility still seems a little off when it comes to using his Dragon Blades in some of these scenarios. He's not getting the greatest resets, and he needs to figure out, I think, with Canada, how to play around him. Reminds me a bit of in the early matches. Oh, Surefour on the McCree.
Hello. All right. Was maybe watching some AKTM last week. Obviously, Surefour, a well-known McCree player, but perhaps re-inspired after Japan's performance in Sydney. Kills on both sides here, but it's looking pretty good for Canada overall. Turkey pushed back a little bit. Wow, Surefour going a little bit deep there. That was all right, Surefour. Come on, man.
There was a healing station and a Lucio with the AoE healed right there. A little bit too deep. Could have stayed back and just zoned people out of the corridor.
It was a cocky cowboy.
The cocky cowboy. Surefour, the cocky cowboy.
Can't argue with that statement. Well, Canada got a lot of percentage towards some ultimates. They're a little bit ahead in that category. Hex, of course, after swapping over to that soldier, a little bit lower on that side of things. Kill comes in. Edwin goes down first again. We've seen that happen quite a bit so far. Good start for the Canada defense.
He's been cut off from his support line so many times, and that's what a team of pro players will do. If you go too far forward, they will drive a wedge between your tank line and supports and make sure you punch for a great job on the flashback right as the Diva was desuiting.
You know, it's not nice to shoot Diva in the back of the head when she's trying to say hi to you. It's not nice, Surefour.
It's all right. He's become the Diva now with the face paint.
That's right. Cocky cowboy.
All right, Agilities waiting up top. We'll see if he can get a better Dragon Blade. He's going to find a Hex up there, chase him into a corner, but that's not enough.
That was brutal. All right. Meanwhile, Shredler does get the kill onto Surefour. The Cowboy does go down. There's a Primal Rage now on the side for XQC. Canada, a little bit desperate on the defense here. Transcendences for both teams as soon as it's done. I expect to see the Dragon Blade. There it is. Gets the kill on Nikto immediately, propped up by the sound barrier as well. Nikto, or rather Agilities, trying to carve apart Canada, but Yaga gets the kill instead. Surefour, maybe a Deadeye kill. Ooh, gets one. Yaga taken down. got some good damage with the other shots as well. There we go. Nice flashbang onto Edwin, and Canada actually is going to be able to retake this pretty quick.
Yeah, in spite of Agility's dying there, the coordination significantly better as a team with the sound barrier that time. They waited out the enemy Transcendence, sound barrier, and then Agilities was able to pop his ult off after Turkey had already committed. So no running away this time, much improved positioning. Surefour is waiting for this one. He actually just heard that. He knows she's there. Goodbye.
Oh, it hurts bad. Surefour. That is a sad time for Hex, who has swapped off of that soldier.
I think you have to swap off. Yeah. Oh, we'll see if he sticks with this Tracer. I'm actually surprised he wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Change over right now because Surefour has been shutting down the Tracer on the flanks.
All right. We'll see. Self-destruct comes in on the side of Turkey. They do catch Agilities at that. Good start for the blue team here. Self-destruct for Canada, not so successful. Turkey trying to move their way in slowly to the point. XQC delaying as long as he can with those straight up vertical leaps. Gets a nice kill onto Surrettler. Edwin, though, responding by popping D.Va out of suit, getting another one on Winston, and they will flip the point again.
So finally, Hex actually plays it more patiently that time, waits for Surefour to be a man down with his team, gets him into the flank position, and just executes him at close range. He's going to be sneaking around once again, but not really going to find anything. They need to wait right now. The rest of the team to assemble with a late death on XQC.
Yeah. All right. The Deadeye has to wait. Watch out for Hex on that Tracer. That's going to be a problem. All right. Transcendence for Canada. They're committing to this one. Edwin very low. Yaga goes down early. Good start for Canada. And there's the Deadeye now. D.Va trying to protect him there, doesn't get any kills with it, but enables the team to do the job. There's a sound barrier at the end. Perhaps not the most needed Lucio ult ever.
Well, you want to just seal out the game right now. You're at 99%. You win this fight, and you've already staggered them. So that should be a quick win here. Yaga going to try and get back and use that Dragon Blade, but he's not going to get a kill.
Man, I was almost having my solo queue game flashbacks there, where the Genji is the only one alive, and then he kills your entire team. It's tough stuff. Surefour, though, not deterred. A couple kills for him. Mangachu stepping up as well. They flip it back. We're into OT now. Canada on the verge of winning Lijiang Tower. There's the Deadeye zoning out Turkey. OT bar ticking away.
They got to get onto that point that they just barely do with Edwin. They're going to stagger. They're going to keep on going here. They're sending one in at a time.
Yeah, but now you've got the, I was going to say, the Zenyatta's not going to get there, and Hex can only survive for so long. That overtime bar is going to start dropping faster and faster each time, and can Alfred get there? No, not quite. Canada will take the 2-0 on Lijiang Tower and get to 2-0 in this 4-game series.
And every map is crucial because this is the group that you need to take first place if you want to avoid South Korea. And typically, we would expect Russia and Canada to be vying for that first and second place seed. And so in the event that when Russia and Canada play against each other, if there were to be a tie, that's where winning 4-0 in the other matches in your group really, really matters.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to give the teams a little bit of time to regroup. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, Turkey going to try to get some momentum going here in this series versus Canada. Don't go anywhere. This is the Overwatch World Cup.
Even in the heart of heaven, angels still feel fear.
Diablo.
Welcome back, everyone. It's halftime show here as the players regroup, talk about what they want to do moving forward into this matchup between Canada and Turkey. We will join them in just a little bit. But guys, I mean, so far the Canadians are looking very strong, and Zoe, you know, this is your pick here.
It's true, and I have no regrets. That's really what I can say. No, but we just saw in both those games that coordination was definitely there. I felt like their mechanical skill was superior to the one of Turkey, and we've also seen a lot of like good stand-up performances from Rolf, for example, on the first map. So I just hope they continue in that very fashion.
Yeah, but like speaking of Rolf, on the other end, coming out from Team Turkey, we have to talk about Nick though. We see these Zenyatta players stand out so often. We see him on the kill feed too. He's getting the damage out there. It's just Turkey hasn't been able to convert off of that, and that is what you need to be able to do. Team Canada definitely be able to convert off of the picks coming out from Zenyatta.
When a Zen is able to be as impactful, like, you know, one player I really enjoyed was Norway's IPN, because whenever he got challenged in the back line, he was ready. He was able to take out Tracer.
The doom of every Tracer.
Yeah, the doom of every Tracer. And like that is so important to have a support that can take care of themselves. And it's a very scary thing. So when you have those supports really moving and shaking reinforced, it really does create a lot of confusion for the other team.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any elite team in the West and the East, I think they have a really solid backline. So you need a Sen or an Ana that can really cause damage and be a constant threat to the backlines of the other teams and the dive groups.
Yeah, well, you know, we were talking so much about supports, but now it is time for a gaming break. T-Mobile gaming break. Let's go right into this bad boy. It's time to take a break because we're going to talk about Surefour. As a matter of fact, one of the players who I tried to make it as cheesy as I possibly could. By the way, here we go. So here we are. Surefour. You know, his hair. It's magical. It's almost on par with James's hair.
I don't know about this smile, though.
This takes constant effort. It looks like Surefour looks like
constant effort.
It really does. Like in my breaks, like run off, but Surefour, he's been there the entire time, and his hair doesn't move at all. Even though like he's playing this high octane gameplay with the Tracer. No, he's been standout so far, and we're seeing why. You know, Team Canada picked him up. This is the second time representing Team Canada, and he's doing them justice.
That's right. Reinforce, you've fought against Surefour many times. Yes. What can you tell me about this guy?
I mean, I beat this guy at like Atlantic Showdown. I have a lot of experience with this guy. He didn't get any 7 kills back then, you know. Yeah, down corner team. This is one of the best DPS players the West has to offer, really. And it's pretty weird that this guy is not going to be playing in the upcoming season of Contenders, given that Cloud9 didn't manage to qualify. Yeah. Because Surefour is just so impactful of a player, really, that you expect him to always be there contesting and fighting for those titles, really.
Yeah, Surefour is an incredible player. And as a matter of fact, our very own Malik had an opportunity to catch up with Surefour, talk to him about all the things. So let's go ahead and check that out.
It's pretty good being part of the World Cup. This is my second time, both on Team Canada, and it's pretty good representing your country against other countries, kind of trying to see who's the best, national pride kind of thing.
We've had a lot of support on social media. People have been reaching out to, give their moral support, and they've been believing in us, and I think that's super nice.
I haven't been to Poland before, but so far it seems pretty nice. I like the environment, it's very green, and even though the driving is pretty crazy, some of the drivers I've been with, but it's pretty nice here.
Thanks so much for supporting us, and I'll sing you guys a song. Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
We got to see not only Surefour, but the ridiculousness that is the rest of Team Canada, they are characters.
Yeah, I've learned a lot. So Chauffeur is scared in cars. XQC.
He's very patriotic.
Yeah.
He's very patriotic, you know.
He's had way too much poutine, that guy.
Oh, dude, have you ever had poutine?
I had it once in South Korea.
I've never had it.
You had poutine in South Korea?
Yeah, dude.
Nah, no.
Dude, don't ask me why. It's going to be a whole new segment. We don't need that.
It's going to be a whole new segment. Reinforced tries different food in other countries. It was great. Oh, man. You're really missing out. Poutine is one of the greatest things on planet Earth. I can't believe that Canadians made it. I honestly thought Puerto Ricans would have made it because we make everything just greasy as possible.
I was about to say, isn't it something really sick? Like, as in,
do you know what poutine is?
I thought it's just like greasy stuff on more greasy stuff with something
So,
fried.
I mean, listen, let me tell you this, and let me just make sure that if your mouth isn't salivating from the thought of poutine, okay, if it's just moist, all right, you really,
no, you didn't.
You really aren't doing it right. So here's the thing, it's French fries
with gravy,
okay, with gravy on top of it, okay. And then you put some cheese on top of that.
Cheese curds.
Okay, cheese curds, by the way, so you get that extra greasy, extra frothy grease. And then from there, if you want, put some bacon. Why not? Proper bacon, though, not Canadian bacon. Just saying. That's just my opinion.
It's one of the greatest things to come out from Canada. Beyond Team Canada here for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So.
I have mixed feelings. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Two casters who love poutine more than anything in the world is none other than Monty and Toa. Oh my God. When they're ready. It's a good statement. Go send it to Monty and Doa. They'll take it.
That needs to sink in first.
We need to let that moment just kind of resonate for a brief.
Let it salivate.
Yeah, let it salivate.
Just like the poutine. Yeah.
Just like the poutine. Have we actually tried some? I still can't get over you had poutine in South Korea. That just boggles my mind. In any case, all right, let's go ahead and send it over to your commentators, Monty and Doa. Take it away, guys.
Hey, we're back, guys. Doa and Monty here. And we just want to say that, you know, we like Canada.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with the desk. We like Canada, guys. And we were there when Reinforced had his poutine experience. That's right.
We literally took him to a Canadian restaurant called Canucks in South Korea.
In Seoul, South Korea. It was a great restaurant,
He didn't tell that part of the story, which is that we were involved in that entire poutine eating process.
We're the reason. We are the impetus for his poutine experience. Susie and I had to run outside to catch a Snorlax during that meal too. That was a great meal all around.
And also, I want to say that I really hope that from now on we can just get a YouTube channel of Golden Boy describing food.
That's right. We don't need to actually see the food. We just need to have a close-up on his face, him describing it. Sure for. Wow. Soldier has special powers. I did not know you could do that.
Just sliding around outside.
Too old to float around in space. Here we go. Canada on the defenses. As you can see, we are in Horizon Lunar Colony. Turkey on the attack. Pretty standard dive for both teams here. But Rolf on the Ana again. We do see that on defense on this map a lot, though.
Yeah, we do. And especially with some of the success they had earlier in this match on the Ana. They try and use it again. And Turkey all bottled up in the room right now, taking the long flank around. They're going to get on the point, looks like, eventually.
Yeah.
The grenade is down right now, so no punish from the Canadian team.
Oh, Hex does get taken out with that Helix rocket, though. Rolf in a little bit of trouble. Grenades himself stays alive here, and now Winston to chase off Yaga. Nice response by Canada to keep their support alive. Surefour does fall, but it looks like Turkey's going to need to reset.
Yeah, Surrettler, too, getting chased at the end, and the boost not going to be enough. And how many times have we seen this?
I'm telling you, man, there's going to be like a pile of divas down there.
It's the dead diva gulch there on the moon.
They need to add that in as an Easter egg. You look over that cliff and there's just like a bunch of divas down there.
The only place to reset.
That's right.
Slowly.
The slow reset.
Slow reset.
You have time to consider the mistakes you've made as you float to your doom.
It's really about communicating with your teammates for your next push, though. That's how it goes.
That's right. Thanks for putting the positive spin on things. Here we go. Nano boost on XQC, actually, as he jumps away, but Turkey diving anyway, so they've got a chance. Edwin very low. Agility does get taken out, though. I thought Edwin was going to fall. He had the bio grenade on him, too, so no healing allowed, but it's off now, and it looks like Turkey's got a chance to take this point.
Oh, Yaga getting low, and Surefour getting one of the healing supports. Has to back off right now. Soundbarrier comes through, but Surefour does not get the shield.
Oh, wow, yeah. Canada still struggling here. Yaga coming in with the Dragon Blade, and not much to stop him here. Gets a couple. Nikto fragging out as well, and it looks like Turkey is on track to take point A.
Agility's trying to delay this as long as possible, and more kills coming through for Canada. Surefour will be making it back with a tactical visor eventually, but isn't going to be enough time. Mangachu,
I don't think you dedicate any more to this.
I think you got to back off. I agree.
Yep.
Turkey with a solid push right there. Yaga doing a lot of the cleanup work with the Dragon Blade, and they're going to use it. They're going to do the tac visor.
Whoa, and just like that, 2 kills already for Canada. Surefour gets 1 with the tac visor, but I cannot believe they held that. That was just some great last-minute coordinated diving that, stopped Turkey from taking the point.
Yes.
I did not expect that.
Sounded like Seretler was interrupted in the middle of his ultimate, too, so no beat will be dropped. And now Turkey, even though they get to 2/3, has to replan their attack right now. Looks like they have been enjoying coming around this left-hand side, but they are going to mix it up right now and try and contest for that high ground. Alfred going to go in first.
I mean, they only need 1 tick, but they've only got a minute to get it. And that's a problem, losing your Winston like that. Yaga on the point, but he's got the Winston to contend with. Agility's with a kill onto Nikto. Canada just picking apart Team Turkey right now, and Rolf even stepping in for the bio grenade kill onto Yaga, and now you've got about 50 seconds left, and even with that 1 tick being all you need to take point A, you're getting a bit worried if you're Turkey right now.
I mean, Edwin's back right now, and he is getting punished a bit by Agilities. Fortunately managed to stay alive, and also Alfred was barely not desuited, so it could have been disastrous for Turkey, but they're coming up on 5 ultimates right now. They're going to have a big advantage in this next fight only, but with 30 seconds left, there's only time for 1.
Yep, that's it. You got to make it happen, and they've got a lot else to do it with. Canada's going to have a little bit of a tricky time defending this, I think. Depends on the execution. That Pulse Bomb doesn't get anything for Hex. There's the Sound Barrier, though. They're going in. Yaga with the Dragon Blade, trying to get in from behind. XQC goes down early. It's a 6v5, but Rolf equalizes. Nikto, though, grabs one of his own, and Canada on the retreat right now. Yaga with the Dragon Blade, running into the Sound Barrier, and he can't get any kills. Surefour coming back with quite a few of his own. Transcendence for Turkey, but they weren't really able to get the full benefit from it.
That Sound Barrier from Canada was absolutely perfectly timed right there to deal with the Dragon Blade from Yaga. Basically, we saw a nano boost onto Surefour, which allowed him to stay alive long enough to get his tac visor, but he held onto the tac visor until the Sound Barrier was popped. Good ult discipline from Canada, and they will hold on point A. Turkey with 83%.
Yeah, it's a full hold. They did get the 2 ticks. Like you said, they got that 83% on point A. So it's not like Canada just needs to only waltz in and take the first tick, but they don't need much more than that. This could be a very quick map 3.
But you really see the game sense from Surefour there. He used the nano boost early, but then held on to his tac visor for another 15 or so seconds, wanting to couple it with that support ultimate. And because the Dragon Blade was popped out immediately, the first slash didn't get a kill. Tac visor eliminates Yaga's Genji, and then they're able to push back in and hold the point.
Yeah. So Canada feeling pretty good about coming in on their attack round here in a few seconds. And it's got to be tough for Turkey, because if you lose this map now you really have lost the round. You still had a chance to tie it coming into this, but here's where things get a little bit unfortunate. And as we know, in Group F, you basically, on paper, you really need to get first in this group if you want to have a chance of going to BlizzCon.
Yeah, basically.
Whoever is second runs into South Korea, and I think we kind of know how that's probably going to go.
I mean, barring some nearly inconceivable upsets.
Yeah.
But I think after what we saw from South Korea earlier today and the utter domination of their performance.
24 kills for Austria in that entire 4-map set.
I believe that's the number that we've seen so far.
Yep. So, what I'm saying is you don't want to be second in this group, because South Korea is going to be first in the other one. You don't want to play those guys.
Yeah.
Not at all. But here we go. Turkey setting up their high ground defense here on Horizon Lunar Colony. Canada getting ready to attack, and it looks like it's going to be pretty standard dive yet again.
Yeah, from both teams.
Yep.
Seeing that traditional dive composition. No Ana this time for Team Turkey. Canada, we'll see what kind of approach they want to make on Horizon. For the moment, looks like they are going to be Heading around the... let's see if they're going to go right or left right here. Looks like it will be right-hand side. They see that Turkey's not on the high ground. Now, Turkey's going to play more back towards the point right now, so no dive at a choke point for them. They're going to test their abilities in an all-out brawl on the point itself.
Okay, they can just kind of battering ram their way in here. That's what they're going to do. There's the dive going deep. Mangachu going to protect his teammates. Early kills on both supports on the side of Turkey. And this is a great start for Canada right off the bat. Rolf does get taken out by Yaga, but looks like Canada should have enough here.
He's trying to gun down Hex. He's the last member of his team on that point. And now the control percentage rapidly moving up.
Yep, maybe a last-ditch defense. I don't know if anyone from Turkey can get there. Nope, they can't. All right, Canada taking Horizon Lunar Colony in pretty much record time. That was a short one, and
54 seconds.
Yeah, not too bad. They have won the series now. So we're going to play another map, obviously, and each map does matter in this tournament. So there is still a lot to play for Turkey, but this match already going to Canada.
Yeah, with the maps, it is the first tiebreaker, just so people who are new to the Overwatch World Cup know.
Right.
Basically, it goes wins. You know, if you have 3 wins in your group, or a win, like a loss and a draw, so wins first, draws, and then losses. And then if 2 teams have the same record, it could be determined by head-to-head record or map score. So it does matter quite a bit as to what your map score actually is, because if you find yourself in a draw with the other top team in your group, it'll be the map score against the other teams that will be the determining factor.
That's right. So the escort map coming up will be Turkey's choice. We'll see what they go with. Dorado's been the order of the day for our first 2 matches. I believe we saw Dorado both times. Yeah, we did.
Yep. And it's been an interesting one. We've seen some very wacky compositions. We did see attack Junkrat from Korea up until the 3rd point, which is something you almost never see. But if you're trying to bully your way through that choke point against a Reinhardt,
yeah, it was a good choice.
We saw a lot of Reinhardt versus Reinhardt, so.
Weirdly enough, we did, but it is legit in that situation. And
yes.
I mean, obviously, Junkrat did get those little buffs a while ago. The main one being that his own left-click bombs don't hurt him anymore. So you can just be a lot more aggressive and fight a lot more of those close quarters duels, which is kind of what Junkrat is built to do. So he is definitely a better hero than he was, and in that situation, you know, go for it. Certainly worked.
And if you're a player as good as Flower, then
yeah,
you're also
if you're Flower, yeah.
You're also able to make situations work that may not be so effective for other players.
I'm not, for the record, I'm not telling people to go play Junkrat on the rank ladder. That's not what I'm suggesting.
You're doing the world a favor right now.
You know, unless you're a Junkrat main and you're really good and it's all you played, then go for it. You know, when I'm playing my ranked matches, Monte Cristo, and people in the lobby are like, what should we play? And they're like trying to tell each other to switch to things. I'm like, you know what, guys? We're low elo. We're not pros. Play what you're comfortable with. That's really the most important thing, is that everyone plays what they're comfortable on, even if you have these weird comps.
Well, there you go. Do advice.
Yeah. Do advice
for your solo queue.
Learning to enjoy the ranked ladder.
Learning to enjoy it without raging.
That's right. That's right. If someone's unless somebody's going like Symmetra attack or like Torb attack, I'm like, all right, come on, man. That's not cool. That doesn't work. If you're a Hanzo main, I'll give you a shot.
You will.
I will.
Lenient towards Hanzo mains, not lenient towards attack Symmetra Torbjorn mains.
No, definitely not.
That's where the line.
That's bad.
You could draw the line in the sand there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's where the line absolutely is. Yeah. Yeah. Especially Symmetra. Like Torb, sure. On some maps, maybe you can run it in low elo, but there's no excuse for an attack Symmetra. Ever.
I like where you draw these very distinct lines. That's great.
I do. I've played a lot of ranked ladder. Not well, but I've played it. I mean, I'm the world's best Zenyatta, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Turkey on the attack here on Route 66. Canada on the defense, and some of the heroes that we will not be seeing are being eliminated. Mangachu going to take the dive next, I think.
Well,
probably. There he goes.
There he goes. Just right over the edge right there. He gets everybody excited for no reason. Rolf looks like he will be playing the Sombra right now. Typical defense for this first point, because you have the 2 mega health packs on opposite sides of the road, so very easy to hack and get that EMP up quickly.
Yep.
Also just a lot of open space to easily EMP on the sides of the card. So
with the rise of Sombra, Route 66 point A has become one of the most full holdable points in Overwatch.
That's true.
With a good Sombra and a good support around it, we have seen so many attack rounds end right here. because of those big health packs.
Well, we are going to see Surefour on the McCree on the defense. That is certainly a bit more unusual. Nikto on the Hanzo to get the scatter arrow, make sure there's no ambush waiting for him in a train cart before swapping back over to that Zenyatta. Yaga has actually been getting a lot of ult charge early in this series so far, so he's been hitting a lot of damage from the shurikens.
You know, I've kind of liked Yaga's Genji play. I thought he's done just fine. I certainly don't think he's the reason that Turkey has been struggling here.
And there's an EMP.
Are you kidding me? Wow, that was a fast EMP.
Rolf
goes down early, though. The Lannisters send their regards.
How many times do we see a Zenyatta killing a Sombra after the EMP?
Yeah,
that is a true rarity right there.
That does not happen very often. Wow.
Nikto actually has been picking up a lot of solo kills by himself, and that, of course, that's a redundant statement. But solo kills,
solo kills by himself.
Exactly, no help.
As opposed to those
the solo kills with 3 people.
That's right.
But that has been one of the better factors about Turkey so far.
Right. Here we go, Canada. On the defense yet again, Hex trying to find some opportunities. Can't quite take out Rolf. Yaga does go down, though. And having a good McCree is so nice to have against the Tracer Genji combo.
Well, if you're not going to have a D.Va in that backline who's actually capable of getting on him and harassing him.
Yeah.
Hex still, though, running around the sides right now. Cart has been contested. Mangachu up on the high ground right now inside the tunnel.
Alfred getting a little bit low. There's the self-destruct coming in from Canada. Rolf, Mangachu jumping back in the suit. The payload is moving. Alfred not going to survive too much longer, I don't think. Well, maybe I spoke too soon here.
Lots of ults up on the side. Rolf died with the EMP available. So Turkey actually brute forcing their way through this map right now. Chomeister drops the sound barrier, but that is going to be responded to in kind.
Yeah. Canada not out of it yet, but they are certainly struggling. There's the EMP coming in now. They need to get the follow-up on it, though. A lot of members of Turkey going down. Still staying on the point for the moment, but Shretler, there's only so much you can do. You can kind of stay alive. You can't really get kills.
Well, yeah, they're just sort of ignoring him at the moment right now, trying to cut off the rest of the members. And Agilities there wins the duel with a pistol whip right to the face of a ninja.
Yep. You know, how else would you take out a ninja?
That's how you do it, man. You're not going to shoot them. They're just jumping all over the place, right?
A little bit of gun kata. Equilibrium.
Wow, I haven't thought about gun kata in quite some time, Noah. Thank you.
So Tracer operates, the gun kata expert. Well, goodbye, Alfred. All right, Turkey regrouping now again. They have to wait for their D.Va to respawn. And Canada kind of has a new lease on life here on this defense. It was getting a little bit sketchy for a moment there, but they held it together, and now they've got a decent amount of ults to work with.
They do need to preemptively EMP Nikto, though. That has to be the play, because if the Transcendence goes off and it's followed up by that Dragon Blade, it's going to be very difficult for them. So watch for Rolf right now. We'll see if he can actually find the proper angle to get the EMP down.
That's been the surprising thing, and well, Agilities gets the kill on Nikto before the EMP even comes out. Deadeye, Yaga pulls out the Dragon Blade, kills Surefour in the middle of the Deadeye, actually, and kills on both sides as Turkey tries to finish point A. Canada scrambling, less than a meter to go for Turkey. They got to win it right here, right now. Hellspawn doesn't do a whole lot. There's the self-destruct from Canada as they try to hold, and it looks pretty good for the blue team here.
Yeah, no health pack available, has already been hacked, so Hex has to rewind, but he's standing on top of the 200 HP. It's going straight back over to Team Canada. Now they're chasing them all the way back towards the spawn.
Oh, Agilities went too far forward, though. They lost him, and that may be an opportunity. Mangachu caught out a little bit, too. Canada chased a little bit too far. Mangachu just trying to delay, trying to keep people off the point. Turkey, though, coming in with the Transcendence right now, and they may just get it there. No one from Team Canada to stop them. Oh, that was a pretty embarrassing mistake by Canada to let that happen.
They were actually zoned out by the self-destruct, falling from above. So
it went a bit far forward, too.
They did go a bit far forward, and Agility's dying at the start of that fight set up an opportunity to snowball. Canada's team coordination. That's not how you're supposed to use that.
Oh, okay. I was a bit confused. I got it.
It's not disappointing. It's celebratory.
Yeah. Well, it's not celebratory this time, Monte Cristo.
I know you made it disappointing.
That's right. Hey, I didn't make it disappointing. Canada made it disappointing. I call him like I see him. All right. Canada having to back off a little bit there, and Turkey able to take a nice aggressive stance here.
Joey's getting focused down all the way on the side.
Yeah. All right. Canada getting the kills.
Yeah, Rolf still with the Sombra right now. Dies again to Edwin with his EMP available, so saving it right now as they try and push everybody back off the card. Yaga finds himself next to XQC, does get an execute.
XQC didn't have a lot of health when he went in, and Yaga made him pay for it. Oh, and now he's going to pay for it.
Well, this is Canada let the card be pushed halfway through, but did come back with a more firm defense. Now, they still have the EMP to work with. They can try and cancel out the sound barrier on the other side. Yeah. Another situation, though, where Yaga has to be the focus right now. Canada has not been paying the best attention to his Dragon Blade timings so far in this match.
Here we go, attack coming in right now. A lot of ults for Canada, or for Turkey rather, to work with. Sound barrier for Canada. There's a Transcendence for Turkey. Yaga gets EMP'd though. No Dragon Blade. He needs to live through this. His health is so low though, and they get the pick. Meanwhile, Turkey though, getting some kills of their own. And Ed with the Primal Rage. Goodbye, Mangachu. He goes for a flying ride, and Canada trying to stay on the point right now. They've got the tanks to deal with. Primal Raging Winston's on both sides here. Agilities gets a little bit too close, and Edwin punches him down. I don't know, Turkey hasn't really made the payload move though.
No, they haven't, and with only 12 seconds left, it could be a problem, but now they've got it rolling.
Well, Edwin was down to 7 health there.
Yeah, waiting for some extra HP, does pick up the mega health back, now trying to get back onto the cart. And we may see another situation where Canada streams in one by one. Agilities with the Dragon Blade. Yaga is there to answer.
Yeah. We saw Turkey take point A nearly at overtime. We'll see if they can do it again. Rolf with the kill into the opposing Zenyatta. Yaga with that Dragon Blade. Rolf not firing, still gets cut down in the end. And Turkey with a good opportunity to get a bit more time on the clock, but they are in overtime. Kills on both sides, but Canada's not quite able to stop it.
I mean,
going to point C.
Yeah, they get the minute and a half added to the clock for getting through point B, and Canada has been sloppy. You know, one of the things, Rolf has not looked that comfortable on the Sombra so far. He's been dying a lot during his EMP, so his positioning on some of these engages has not been paying dividends.
Well, we're just not seeing him get that instant kill on the Zenyatta either. So, yeah, the positioning, the comfort level just doesn't seem to be there for Rolf on the Sombra right now.
And partially has been Turkey has been doing a good job of at least spreading out to avoid a lot of those EMPs, and now Rolf back on the Zenyatta may be a bit more comfortable.
I would imagine so. Canada trying to hold the point right now. Looks like they will force Turkey to reset. And because point B was taken in overtime, Turkey doesn't have a lot of time to make this work. And it's so hard to push this point already. They got their work cut out for them.
Especially with the late kill onto the mech of Alfred. Oh, he's going to have to find a late stagger as well, with Agilities taking that kill, meaning we've got about one push left in here. And Joe Meister has reached the sound barrier already. Turkey needs to find the kills, but they're getting close to 6 ults, so a possibility for a strong final push.
This is the final push either way. Mangachu goes down, great start. They get Joe Meister as well. Turkey with a good start, but they do lose one. Nikto was pretty nice to have alive. He was so close to the Transcendence. Maybe the Transcendence from Canada is going to be enough for them to push back here. Nobody going down quite yet. Rolf in the back lines has to deal with Edwin now, who jumps on top of him. XQC taken out by Hex, and somehow, some way, Turkey grinds their way into a win.
That one Transcendence from Canada was mistimed for sure. They had already taken the brunt of the damage, and committing it late didn't really do them any favors. Now going to go ahead and use that sound barrier.
All right, this is looking a little bit better for Canada. Gives Agilities a chance to get back there with the Dragon Blade. Now gets one kill, opens the door for Canada to be a bit more aggressive, and it looks like the push for Turkey is probably going to stop right here. Yeah, it will. It will at some point, as soon as they can take down Hex. There we go. All right, Yaga rather swapped onto the Tracer, and there it is. Canada holds Turkey to 2 points. Turkey with a pretty decent push overall, though.
I mean, they were tenacious in overtime, and a lot of those pickoffs in overtime really worked in Turkey's favor. But to Canada, I mean, we expected a little bit better ult discipline out of them. They weren't comboing that well, and it seemed like there were some miscommunications about when the ults would be coming through on engages, and they gave Turkey a lot of opportunities to come back in that map and push in overtime twice all the way into point C.
Yeah.
So the scramble on the Canadian team looked a little bit chaotic, and Turkey definitely was able to punish and take advantage of that.
So Turkey puts themselves in a position to possibly win a map here in this 4-map set against Canada. We'll see how the defense is, but if they can possibly run a successful Sombra defense on their own, they've got a shot. And, you know, I think, unfortunately for Canada, perhaps a vulnerability has been a bit exposed here. They don't seem like, from that round anyway, that they're really prepared to effectively run the Sombra. Rolf, a great support player, but looked a bit off on that pick.
Yeah, I agree. It was odd, and I think when we see agilities on the Tracer too, not up to his normal level of Genji play that we see.
Yeah, that's right.
So a little bit shaky, I think, for Canada in day one, and we'll see if Turkey can actually take a map off of them. Could be a huge determining factor. Well, in the tournament later this weekend.
If they can stop the payload from getting to that marker we just saw on the screen, they can certainly give themselves a shot anyway.
I'm excited to see Nikto play on this Sombra. I think his Zenyatta has been one of the bright spots for Turkey so far. And can he actually punish Rolf, who will be playing the Zenyatta on the attack? Surefour may actually be playing that Widowmaker. It is viable on the first point.
Well, you've got a lot of good angles here for the Widowmaker to work, so we've seen it quite a bit on this map already.
Giving it a try right now. Joe Meister, again, unleashing that Sonic Arrow. He's going to change his mind, actually.
Okay, must have gotten some communication from his teammates about what they were seeing and decided to make the swap.
He's going to switch to Reaper, actually, so he's going to get right into the front lines right there. And Rolf picks up a huge opener onto Yaga.
That is big, man. Getting the Genji out of the way early helps quite a bit. The Reaper, I think, is a great choice if they saw the Sombra, because you're not really too afraid, because your left click is what you're getting all the damage done with anyway. So being hacked, being EMP'd, it doesn't really matter. And I think that was a great adaptation by Canada, and the picks came through anyway, that they didn't really need to use it yet. So, but now he can just sit on this health pack.
So against these Sombra compositions, though, they fought through that little corridor right there, and they knew that as long as the defensive matrix was over the shoulders of Surefour, they could block the incoming damage. And when you're trying to fight over that health pack constantly with a Winston and a D.Va, the short-range damage of the Reaper is going to be far too much to handle.
Yeah, and there's the EMP, but again, you know, Surefour not too phased by that. Well, I guess he does die, but you know, you don't lose damage if you're EMP'd as Reaper anyway. Alfred with a couple kills. Looks like Turkey should stabilize here and force the reset from Canada.
Well, we're going to see agilities with the late kills onto the soldier, and the support may make the big difference. Alfred knocked away from the payload right now, and it is continuing to move.
Spoke too soon, man. I thought agilities would just kind of pull back and save that Dragon Blade, but he didn't even need it. He just went in there and got the picks.
Yeah, he did. And the question now is whether Surefour is going to stay on the Reaper for this next point.
Yeah.
For the most part, Death Blossom not an impactful ultimate, so you can go ahead and switch if you're not going to be playing around some of these short range. And he is going to go on the Widowmaker, which is great here on the long sidelines for point 2. So love the swap right there from Canada. And Turkey is going to be sticking with the Sombra.
Yeah, they're going to try it. Agilities, remember, still has that Dragon Blade to use. And there's an opportunity. Yaga, vulnerable, cuts him down. Meanwhile, the rest of Turkey dives in. Looks like Alfred's going to not get taken out. 2 kills from actually a couple of self-destruct kills there. That was a little bit disorienting when that happens.
Surefour dueled out by the Sombra on the side, forced backwards away from the payload.
Ooh,
and
there you go.
A nice pick-off to start off the next fight. Does force Edwin on the retreat and gets the payload moving once again. But that was a bit of an awkward situation. Again, agilities, you know, he gets Yaga, but the positioning with the rest of his team, he was so far away from his teammates and from Turkey that he's trying to chase down a mini D.Va and still ends up within range of the self-destruct.
This payload's getting a lot of distance here.
Sure is, and damn.
And there's a girl I was afraid of, Spados.
As always, your French accent is spot on.
I know, it's great, isn't it? Oh, Surefour chased away by the Winston. Up to ultimate, there we go. Whoa, Yaga nearly gets the kill there. That was a bit scary. Meanwhile, Canada picking some up in the back line. There's the sound barrier now for Team Canada as they get aggressive. Surefour trying to hit those shots. He's doing damage, but he's not really getting the picks. There we go, helping Joe Meister get that kill onto Edwin.
Yeah, does get the poke down, and
the poke's pretty effective.
Yaga actually tack visering there on the side and immediately getting bounced on by XQC.
Oh, there
you go.
He knew. He knew Hex was going for that health pack, man, and he was ready. Always fun to watch. Ouch. All right, well, it looks like Canada going to cruise forward to a point B take here, probably.
Yeah, they are, and they should be held up enough, Turkey, in those doorways. No real chance to contest, and now still 4 minutes remaining. Surefour will be staying with the Widowmaker here. You do have that one long hallway to work with, but there is a lot of terrain that you can dive and dodge behind.
Duck, dive, and dodge.
That's right.
You're saying? All right.
Throw wrenches at him, you know?
That's right. That's Torbjorn saying. You think he does it to somebody. Here we go. Canada, all they need to do is push it halfway down this hallway and they get the 4-0. Self-destruct coming in, Agilities does fall. Good start for Canada, or good start for Turkey rather. Now Canada's striking back. Surefour still looking for those shots. And man, you can get a lot of damage done here on this high ground, or not high ground, this hallway.
Yeah, the Stretler there trying to get up high on the Ana so he can at least find some of those heals, but immediately zoned out by this Widowmaker.
All right. There you go, self-destruct coming in again. Agilities fell once more. Canada so close to taking this map. There we go, and Rolf deciding to go crazy on that Zenyatta, man. He's getting the kills.
Tries to actually, he does take out the Gorilla in the front line.
Wow. All right.
It should be just cleanup from here on out for Canada.
That's it. All right, Canada gets the 4-0. Turkey certainly putting up a bit of a fight, but Canada, you know, I think definitively the better team we've got here in this match.
Well, I think they had their best map on Dorado overall. I thought that they punished the Sombra play relatively well from Canada. And Canada, I think, not exactly the strength that we expected from this roster. A lot more mistakes than we would have thought from having a group of 6 professional players of their caliber. Still need to work on, I think, getting in sync with each other with these new teammates.
There were a few points that looked a bit rusty, but you know, it's not necessarily anything different than what you might expect with a lot of World Cup teams, especially a lot of pro players that haven't worked with each other as much. So we'll see what they can do on day 2. But hey, I mean, mistakes or not, you can be pretty happy with the results right now if you're Team Canada.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you did what needed to be done. You get the 4-0, keep your chances of that first place seed and avoiding the South Korean roster alive.
Yep, that's right. So, Canada getting a pretty crucial win here in Group F. Remember, you do really want to get first place in this group because second place means you're probably going to play against South Korea in the playoffs, and everybody wants to avoid that. So every map is vital right now for these teams.
Yeah, certainly is. But day 1, job done for Canada. They got what they needed, and Turkey going to be still fighting through, seeing if they can pick up some maps as the tournament draws on in the coming days.
Well, I'm really curious, too, if teams are going to try to exploit the supposed weakness of Rolf Sombra on some of the map picks later on this weekend.
Too.
Maybe he just had an off day. We'll see. It's time to see, though, what the desk thinks about that last match.
So that is going to put a bow on that one as Canada will come out on top with a 4-0 victory. The Canadian roster not shocked, honestly, because of the caliber of player on this team. But I am impressed with Turkey, though, and the way they were able to answer back. But first, to start with Canada here, you know, Zoe, what were some of your major takeaways here as we head into Horizon?
I mean, Horizon was a fairly one-sided kind of story, so there's not too much to say about that one per se. It was just good coordination on the Canadian team overall, and just very good mechanical skills, which is something we've been mentioning before. I felt like in the last map specifically, there were a lot of mistakes. It looked very sloppy. I don't know if that was like what exactly to like pin it down to, but it just didn't seem like they were quite warmed up yet. However, it's not the first high caliber team in the Overwatch World Cup we see being a little bit shaky on the day 1. They definitely have a lot they need to clean up for tomorrow, as it's not going to get easier, and they do need that first spot in their very group. However, a 4-0 is a pretty good start.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, you talk about not warming up, but you still have 4-0, so it's not bad thus far. You can be angry with that one. Reinforce, any thoughts on your end?
Yeah, I thought that Canada, yeah, they did some mistakes for sure. Rolf didn't look good on the Sombra, as Monty said, and that's maybe something to move forward, to be thinking about moving forward. But I don't think that Sombra is that mandatory in this current meta, so I think they'll be fine regardless. I think that Surefour looked great on the Tracer play. And he just kind of abused the fact that Turkey weren't as solid, basically. Surefour got a lot of room to work with, and Agilities just followed up, did his thing, XQC did whatever he wanted to do, and it was that great. So yeah, it did look rough for Canada, but I think they had no problem dispatching on Turkey.
Yeah, and then James, we got some glimmers of hope for the Turkish squad going into Route 66, which was pretty great. Great for them, right? This is exactly what they wanted to do. Show the world that they're just not, they will fight back.
Yeah, we talked about goals, right? And there are different goals between these squads. One of them is to make sure they make it out of the groups. The other is just to shine light upon their country. And I think, you know, some players on the side for Turkey did pretty well. Edwin on the Winston, you know, we see like he is able to hunt down the kills and pick up some crucial kills. We saw him like hunting down agilities quite often, especially on Dorado there. And of course, Nikto, you know, having to deal with the Sombra is a pretty difficult thing for a Zen, but he was keeping himself alive. His positioning was fantastic, and he was just fragging out also. We saw it on Horizon. We saw it actually throughout the entire series. So both of those guys doing a really great job, despite the 0-4 loss.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for them, but they will bounce back tomorrow there. And just an update for you guys at home, Canada did win 4-0 on that one, but we still have one more match remaining, and this is going to be a really good one. I don't want to get into it just yet. You seem eager.
I'm super eager.
You seem a little too eager here.
I'm so sorry.
You know, because we have no idea what could happen here. But I do want to take some final thoughts, reinforce on your end in regards to Turkey. Anything that you saw from that team that impressed you?
Maybe not that impressed me. But okay. I think that it's pretty clear what they need to work on. I think they looked a bit indecisive, and I think that that's a pretty easy mistake to fix going into tomorrow's game. I think if they just be more decisive with their dives and coordinate a bit more, I think they're going to be great tomorrow.
It takes a lot to earn your love.
Yes.
You know? It's just, that's what I've learned here. It's like, you'll never impress me. You're just a disapproving father. Okay, so in any case, guys, we're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have our final match of the day. It's going to be Russia heading off against Singapore, and this is going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll catch you in just a few.